Please lie on your back. Put your feet together like for applauding. And gradually turn your pelvis right and left so that one leg goes to the floor and then the other one thigh. But slowly, slowly. You can reach the floor, sure, the floor could lift itself even. Slowly. Slowly find out what is leaving the floor by the hand down. The hands alongside the body. That's right. Slowly. Observe only. Do you have to put your foot standing on the sole once you go to one side and to the other one not? Or are both feet lying on the side all the time? And keep on doing that. Note, is the head moving together with the intention to go to the right or to the left? It means that when you go right, the eyes and the head move slightly to the right. That's right. And now do it intentionally. Move the head and the eyes together with a movement. And note, what starts the movement sideways? Is it the pelvis or the head? Of course, it's your intention, but with your intention, how is it organized in your brain, in your system? Do you move the head first? Or maybe it's the eyes. Close your eyes and feel on the eyelids. Feel when you move, whether the intention is first performed in the eyes. Can you? Maybe it would be easier to decide if you move the pelvis as you do and move the eyes in the opposite direction. Means when you tilt, don't change the head. Move, because the head is moving now mechanically with the pelvis, not essentially to the nervous system. If you decided to move the pelvis alone and not to move the head, you have to make a special effort not to move the head. The spine rotating, twisting right and left obviously will affect the head. Therefore, it's not easy to feel what's the prime mover in the business. But if you move the eyes in the opposite direction, you will realize observe only that when we move the eyes in the opposite direction, it slows down the movement right and left. Now, turn the eyes in the same direction as the head with the pelvis, and then look without saying it, everybody goes faster. Anyway, it's noticeable when you look at it. Now, would you put with your right hand underneath your belt region, the lumbar region, shove the palm downwards, put the fingers underneath, through the spine, so that the spine is somewhere on your knuckles, if you can. Some people can't reach that much. Slowly. And keep on doing the same thing. Note whether the head goes right and left the same amount as before. And of course, feel what's being done in the ribs, in the chest, and in the neck. Move the eyes now in the opposite direction of your legs or the pelvis. Now, many people did not understand, as usual, and can tell me things which afterwards make me see that, where some people put the right hand under the ass or nearly under the ass. And you have your left hand, the Spaniard, would you please take out that left hand? It's the right hand. It's the right hand. You have two left hands or two right hands, I don't know. Right hand only. And put it underneath the lumbar region, not underneath the pelvis. Put it there where some people have a belt. Over your trousers. That's right. Slowly. It's not easy for everybody. Some people cannot do it. Can you feel when you can't do it? Your hand is under the pelvis, under the right hip joint. It's not there. But it's immaterial. If you can't do it, don't do it. Go do what you can, and in a few minutes you'll be able to do it as usual. You know, that's why we go with the pace of everybody, so that everybody, without exception, can learn. And usually we achieve that extraordinary thing that the whole audience does at the end the impossible, elegantly and satisfying. And I believe we have repeated that thing at least 100 times since we are here. Stop it, take your hand out, and keep on rolling the pelvis as we did with the feet like that. Roll the pelvis like before, and only note the difference. No, don't stand on your foot. You don't have to stand on the foot. You don't have to stand on the foot where the feet touch with the soles. If you stand on the foot, it shows that you rotate more than you can. Slowly. Roll right and left. Only observe the difference in the right shoulder, in the chest, the way it moves. Feel that when you move left, the middle of the chest, the small ribs, bend more and go away from the floor more than the left side. Note that. But you see, anybody who puts the foot with the sole on the floor is unable to detect the difference, because putting the foot on the floor makes a bigger difference than the amount of turning. Therefore, and if you do that, it means that you want, first of all, turn a lot, and that is of no importance. Don't turn a lot, but turn well. You don't understand, you standing on your foot. Don't stand on your foot. You stand each time on the foot. And therefore you don't know how much you can turn. Why do we put the feet together? so that you can't do silly things, yet people manage. Silly for that purpose. It's not silly to stand on the floor. That's right. That's right. Can you see? That's an enormous difference. On standing on the foot, you remain with the pelvis, with the rib, with the hip joint, less mobile than they would be forever. Really forever. Because if you don't move them spontaneously like that, they will remain stiff. And you can't move spontaneously if you do another movement instead of the one you intend to do, not realizing even what you intend to do. Slowly stretch out, lie still. Note the sensation of contact with the floor. Join the soles together again. Join your soles together. And of course, note whether the feet are near to you, too far, too close, too much to the right, to the left. You can imagine yourself doing that. Don't do anything, just think that you move your heels nearest to you possible. Not doing it, just think it. Some people, you can't do it even they want it. But imagine. And then when they are very near to yourself, as close as you can think. By the way, observe your breathing while you do that. When you hold your heels very near to the pelvis, don't move them, just think so. Note what is being done as a preparation for pulling the heels near to oneself. And now move the pelvis, rock the pelvis. If you remember lying on a dial now, or think of lying on a dial with 12 o'clock in the direction of your feet and 6 in the direction of your head, then rock the pelvis from 12 to 6. 12 to 6. When does the chin come down to the sternum? When you move the pelvis, that it rocks in the direction of 12 o'clock or 6? When do the knees open more? When you tilt your pelvis in the direction of 12 o'clock? Now note that when you tilt the pelvis downwards in the direction of 12 o'clock, means the upper part of the pelvis is lifted off the floor, there where your hand was before. Then the knees open and the chin comes down near to the throat. Now go down to 12 o'clock and stay there. The head should not be tilted intentionally backwards. Tilt the pelvis into the direction of 12 o'clock. It means the middle should be lifted so that a cat can go underneath, or at least a mouse. Stay like that. And this time draw the abdomen in and make the chest, heave the chest. Now heave the chest doesn't mean push the lower rib forward, It means lifting the breastbone in such a way that the breasts or the pectoral muscles come near to your face. That side. And when you push your abdomen, you must see the abdomen swelling relative to the body, not remaining flat and making effort with the back muscles. Push your abdomen out as if you were pregnant, like the woman you saw here. Only not so advanced. 4 months is enough. And push the abdomen in the direction of your pubis. It means, look, many people are unable to move that side. Put your hand just over your pubis, and you will see that there is no push there at all. And in fact, you're pushing the upper part of the abdomen. It means you do some effort with the diaphragm, but you're not pushing the abdomen out. This is a very difficult thing to do, and only some of the real good masters in some of the martial arts can do that properly. And some people say that they have the ki or the chi or the something, that you can't lift them, you can't move them from their place. And that is because when the pelvis is like that, you have to lift the person as a whole, straight, but you can't move him forward or backwards. That's why it's difficult to lift him. But if you put your hands underneath his soles, he wouldn't be heavier, whatever he does, you would be able to lift him with the same. If you weren't standing on one scale of a pair of scales and you put his weight on the other side, doesn't matter what he does, he would be lifted. But when somebody wants to lift him, he can't, because he hasn't got an idea how to lift a person whom you have to lift just like that, with extended arms, take his pelvis and lift him like that. Of course, that's very difficult to do. That's why you find that you can't move it. We see there are many, many things like that, that many who haven't had the experience don't even understand what I'm saying now. But believe it or not, you will. So can you push the abdomen, the lower abdomen? If you put your hands on either side, the fingers on either side of the pubis, push the abdomen in such a way that you feel your fingers pushed, not the thumbs. The fingers, not the thumbs. And you will see, do the thing you did before in pushing your abdomen. And then you will see actually you didn't push your abdomen, you just, some of you strained the back and rounded the back, making a hole underneath the lumbar region, and therefore something, the middle of the body was pushed a little bit up, and they mistake that for pushing the abdomen out. Pushing the abdomen out is very, in fact, it's very funny when you push your abdomen out, the upper part, this one that protrudes now, falls in. If you want to see even breast, sit up a second and have a look. Many of you move when they do the abdomen, do this, push there. Now look, when I push the lower abdomen the way you're supposed to do, look here, there, look, here it becomes empty. It becomes empty here, look there. And by the way, here I'm talking as if I weren't doing anything. Look, the hip, and then here, look, falls in, there, huh? And of course that ki, chi, all sorts of esoteric powers, you get it like that. And the people who do it, some of them know, and some really believe they have got esoteric powers. But the real masters know that you can do it, and you can teach it to other people. Otherwise, there wouldn't be masters in each generation. There would be only gods in one generation and silly asses in another. Yeah? Oh yes, face anyway. Look, you can do this. Look, that's what many do. Look, the abdomen is in, and in order to push out, you put here. But now watch, this is forward. I push the abdomen out, and that goes in. Look, and by the way, you see, while I do that, though it's so powerful that anybody here trying to stop me, come here, you try. Make a fist, stand on your knees, move so that, incline yourself so that you can go a little bit away, so that you can lean with your full weight. Look, that's it. Come on. I'm only afraid you'll knock me over because I let you go in first. Now listen, that while I do that, you won't know it. 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 There. But now watch. This is it. Touch with the other hand. Look. Huh? You're knocking me over with my little chair. So look. Can you see? That goes in and the lower. It's not simple. Try slowly. Maybe some here, so some people who are experts in martial arts and had to contact with the Japanese in Japan or with the Chinese in China, some of the masters. Can you do that? Have you seen it done? Yeah. The funny thing is that when you do that, you find, look, everything is free, but if you try to move me or lift me, you can only lift the chair with me, but you could not move me forward or backwards, probably with any power, unless you move me in such a way that I lose balance and I stop it. Slowly, would you please do it again? In other words, that's right. That's it. You see? Can you see? That's what I told you a million times, that most people, in other words, the great majority of the people here, without exception, can learn and will learn, and that we repeated it for the millionth time, that without exception, I never cease or go over to another movement before 100% of the people except those who are crippled and can't, which I allow to go slowly and not to learn it so that they don't injure themselves. But otherwise, everybody learns at its own pace and is given a unique opportunity to do it at his own pace. Now, would you please direct your attention to that chap with a mustache. Keep on doing what you did. Keep on doing it. Look, can you see? It's the middle where the stomach goes. That is not what we want to do. But wait a minute. You do it occasionally. That's. Can you see? It's the middle goes out and the lower abdomen doesn't move. No, that's it. Can you see? Then the middle falls down. That's right. Look, that's it. It's something quite different. Can you feel that? Now do again. Move your stomach as you did before. That's right. That's what many people do. Can you see? The lower abdomen is flat. Now, make the lower abdomen out. That's right. And you can see the thing that protruded before falls in. And actually, when it's perfect, you get literally whole. Look, you can go under your ribs. So much it falls in. Oh, there. You can put your fingers under your ribs. Yeah, that's right. Now slowly do that. Hmm? Huh? The breathing, do whatever you can. By the time you have learned to do it, your breathing will be all right. In fact, what about the breathing? I showed you that while I do that and while I pushed me, I talk, look, I'm talking exactly like before, so my breathing is not affected. And by the way, it can be affected, and in such a way that some masters can make a bird fall by doing that. Ha! With this kind of sound, suddenly they do it. I've seen it myself down. The bird flies, and the master looked at that and directs his voice in such a way and make that like that. Ha! Can you hear that kind of noise? It's not my voice actually. It's a voice like coming from God knows where. But ha! 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 And some are so skillful and produce it so powerfully that a bird within sight produce that will fall. And that has nothing to do with extrasensory perception. Because you can measure the amount of energy in the sound and the suddenness of that gives you a jerk, and the bird suddenly stops a minute breathing and stops flapping. Therefore, it falls. It didn't fall on the floor, though it will. Some do. Majority just dive and then catch up and go back again. And by the way, in some of the martial arts, where it's a question of killing, they do make the movement as if they're going to kill. Then the sound that is produced is again in whatever situation you are, bending in that it's still possible to do. Ha! And some of the masters will, at each throw, when they intend to throw and do it and without failure, you will do ha! And the throw is done with the finish of the ha. But that is immaterial whether you're going to be a fighter and learn. Actually, the martial arts properly done are not for fighting. Kano insisted and actually wrote like that and personally told me many times, it's the judo is a training for the mind and body. Mind and body, not body and mind. It's not a question of fighting. It's a question of having courage to fight, of having the ability to do it, of having your internal insecurity somehow altered, so as if you had a pistol in your pocket. The kind of security that we gain having a pistol. And if you have that security, it means it makes the difference between you and a heavy, strong man who imposes on you. And if you came threatening to you, you would feel that you must retreat or hide and actually not go near if you were threatening. You just find that you don't care. You can do. And that's important. Otherwise, it's of no importance. But you will see actually that it makes something for a feeling of power, and therefore it's important to be aware how to do it. Slowly, do again, draw the abdomen in and let the chest go up. You'll find that the people who can only move the middle cannot move the chest up either. They cannot move the chest either. They have no. Moving the sternum up is drawing the abdomen in, is, look, it's again not this, not that, it's just swelling the chest. So that the distance between the sternum and the back, or not with the back lifted off the floor, but inside the body. The sternum should go away from the chest. If you look at that, the question is, look, increasing the distance between the spine and the sternum. Decreasing this distance between the spine and the chest bone. Therefore, it's a question of doing, look, the clavicles will go up. Look, it is a question of increasing the thickness of the chest, and not whether you breathe in or out, that's immaterial. By the way, you don't have to breathe in or out with that. It has nothing to do with the breathing, or practically. Can you see I do that and keep on talking? Therefore, do I breathe or not? Speaking, you have to breathe out. Therefore, you can see doing that has nothing to do, or practically nothing to do with the breathing. There are other ways of breathing when you do that, and everybody knows how to do that without knowing. You can breathe with the other parts sufficiently to make that movement insignificant for the breathing, although it's normally one of the most important ones. Would you please have your hands lying down, not behind the head? Would you please put the hands along your body, not behind the head? All right, now tilt your legs right and left like before. The pelvis, right and left. Without any restrictions, and feel. Is it different? Now, note only, is the head moving right and left as much as before? Move the eyes in the opposite direction of the movement of the pelvis.